heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. And I looked, and behold, was death. Saying, come and see. And I saw. And hell followed me.
Hi folks, welcome to this week's episode of Real Talk NOLA. I'm William.
And I'm Carl Johnson.
And 7 years ago, yeah, do the math, works out, one of our greatest presidents ever passed away. And, you know, through assassination.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, you got it, don't worry. And this week, we're going to review his grand return to American culture with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I'm looking forward to it.
Do you see my seething? Do you see the seed? Watch the seed. Be right back. Axe-wielding Civil War president in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Enjoy it for what it is.
And I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. And I looked, and behold, was death, saying, come and see.
History prefers legends to men. It prefers nobility to brutality. Soaring speeches to quiet deeds. History remembers the battle, but forgets the blood. However, history remembers me before I was a president. It shall only remember a fraction of the truth.
And hell followed me.
There is darkness everywhere, Mr. Lincoln.
My mother was murdered. I can see the rage burning.
Tip the balance for the good of all mankind.
I shall kill them all.
It's time we had a nation of our own. This war ends tonight. Only the living can kill the dead.
That was Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, based on the multi-million selling book, pumping out, getting many of this
By
generation.
Seth Graham Smith.
Yeah, we're going to...
Also did Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
Yeah, and the Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters, I believe, is also under his belt. Yeah, I still remember hearing about this book in an interview, and just the rage that it sent me into, because, quote the author directly, I was reading some Civil War history, and I realized how much the undead could fit in there, and I was just like, oh, for frig's sake.
Okay. Before William goes in his rant about how awful, retelling historical fact through a weird form of fiction is.
No, that's not what my qualm is. Not what my qualm is. I just don't want my rage misdirected here,
okay.
Right?
Well, let's talk about the highlights here, okay? You got Tamir.
Highlights for children.
Tamir.
You can color in the lines.
Shut it. Tamir Beckham, a Russian last name. He's the guy who did the Day Watch, Night Watch series and the Russian series. Yep. He also did Wanted with Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman, and the other kid.
I could curve the bullet. He played Xavier in X-Men First Class. Yeah.
But it's produced by Tim Burton, so I'm kind of I'm looking forward to that right there, that team up. Tim Burton producing, like kind of just helping behind the scenes a little bit.
Okay,
but
Dark Shadows was up on that pedestal.
But he's not directing though. He's not involved in the writing of the script. But you got Timur, who has done, I felt some of the greatest visual effects movies recently. With like definitely if you go watch the Russian films. Like you were watching that, I was like this is the new. It's like when you watched it was like that's the new Matrix. Like when Matrix came out, it was like that pushed the boundaries. Day Watch and Night Watch pushed the boundaries of like
that got a substantial audience considering what its audience could have been.
But this movie starring Benjamin Walker as Abe, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Mary Todd Lincoln. You got what's his name? Rufus Sewell playing the bad vampire villain.
The main villain, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen him in something. It wasn't Knight's Tale, I think, was the last time I saw him, but I'm sure he's been in something in between.
He's been in some stuff, yeah, here and
there. But like that Knight's Tale was pretty much the last time he was like a major villain in a. Yeah.
But you know, you got some other like Anthony Mackie's in there who's done things like The Hurt Locker, and there's some other actors in there. So it's not just completely waste of talent. I want to say, like, I don't know who Benjamin Walker is. He hasn't really done much, but at least Anthony Mackie's in there.
Did you know that everyone from New Orleans was a vampire? Did you know that? Because that's the way it is in this book. And every plantation owner is just getting stock for the vampires and everything like that. Yeah. So I get to start my rant now, right?
Rant away.
Yay.
Make it quick.
All right. Time me. So it's not enough that Abraham Lincoln was the most progressive president we've maybe ever had or ever will have. It's not enough that he held the country together in a time of civil war, which it is a civil war. I don't want to hear it. Divide. Civil, because they didn't actually secede because we contested it,
and we got it back,
and it got back. So
if they would have succeeded and won, it'd have been independence.
Then it would have been the war between the states.
Yeah. And
however, not so. Anyway, moving on. Not enough that he did all that. Not enough that he gave one of the greatest speeches of all time in under 2 minutes. No.
And not only that, he rocked an awesome beard.
Yeah, and and not only that, he started the circuit of debates. That was like the first time that happened. He challenged his opponent to going to debates everywhere. And he's like, let's do the town hall debates. He goes, if you think you're really better than me on the issues, without getting too much into the political stuff, that wasn't enough. He's got to what? You don't respect a man until he stabs somebody at this point? Like he's got to wield an axe to take on vampires? Are we that twilighted out as a culture?
I don't know if it was
every day. Okay, I'm gonna quote one of my favorite, Lord Buckley. All right. Famous comedian, he said every day should be Lincoln Day because he laid it down tight and he laid it down true. It's like, everything should be Lincoln Park, Lincoln Day, Lincoln. It's just, that's the way
it's just a good name too, Lincoln.
Yeah, and not only that, and it's, and then he gets assassinated by an actor, and then almost 100 years later, we're going to re-assassinate him with acting. It's just
now you see, that's where me and you differ, clearly differ. Watching the trailer, there's been multiple trailers, but there's one where it starts out with Johnny Cash's song, which just kind of sets the mood for this film. It's supposed to be dark with the whole vampire. And the idea that you can...
They ruined 2 great men in black there.
Shut up. That you can...
And I heard a voice.
The idea that you can take such an established American figure and kind of add a almost backstory to the whole concept.
He doesn't need a backstory.
I know he doesn't need it, but
he was a poor kid who went through to become the president of the United States.
I know.
People got so mad he was progressive, they seceded. He fought them and won.
Okay, I'm not going to get into too much political issues, but that's not the only reason why they succeeded.
I know.
There's 50 years building up to the Civil War, all right?
Actually, since the Constitution,
yeah. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, no.
That's something they don't teach you kids in the
history
books.
We'll take care of it later. Oops.
Yeah.
But no,
let me finish my rant. You got your little 2 minutes of rant.
I got one more thing to say. Go ahead.
I like doing this to fix old enough fictional characters. You add a little bit to it. I'm not saying for educational purposes. I just like the idea of thinking of Lincoln as more of a badass than he was. I mean, he was a badass in his own way, but like if they did this with George Washington or if they did this with Teddy Roosevelt, I wouldn't have felt so bad. But Lincoln wasn't a war hero, or not at least a person who went out and like killed people or killed lions and tigers on the African safari like Roosevelt.
Again, we only can respect a man if he's like Alexander the Great and wrestling lions when he's 12 years old.
Exactly. So, but the movie's movie's supposed to be fun, and I think that's what it is.
All I'm saying is, I watched it with a theater full of teenagers because the movie I was in at the time, and they heard the Gettysburg Address. For those of you, the other trailers, they have one that's just the parts of the Gettysburg Address and then relating it back to the movie. They thought it was a joke. I don't even think they know what the Gettysburg Address is. Do you understand what we're doing?
That's not Hollywood's fault. That's the American
education
system.
It's the book's fault. It's the book's fault. It's a mediocre idea, and it deserves a... And here's the thing. The mechanics of the writing in the book are what are going to bump me from not giving it flat out red. I'm going to give it red to yellow. Wait for television.
Oh gosh.
Wait for television. Because the book, actually, the author can write. I don't like the subject matter. I don't like what he chose to write about here. And for what it's worth, the movie's based on a phenomena, but you know what? It's in the same light as the Hunger Games, same light as anything else. I was like, we wrote a book to get a bunch of people to read it in class and then take high school kids out to see it. Red, yellow.
I'm giving it green because I think it's fun, and I look forward to the fun I'm going to have watching it. And that's it. No more talk from him. We'll be right back here with more Shove It Movies.